G'day folks, and welcome to Gormo's Shed, a special Easter edition. Now we've still got a few minutes before the next train comes through, so why don't you come in here and sit down with me and we'll have a little chat. Right, I was thinking about this episode the other day, and I was thinking, well, it's coinciding with Easter, and for me Easter is a time for reflection, and I think it probably is for a lot of us. And these days Easter is very commercial, just like Christmas. And in Australia, I know that the retailers would be open every single day if the law allowed them to. Myself, I tend to think of Easter as a time for family and friends, and I guess this is because when I was a child growing up in Australia, the shops weren't open on the weekends. They were open on Saturday morning, and when it came to holidays like Easter and Christmas, well, then everything just shut down. So you were at a bit of a loss. You didn't have cinemas, etc. that you could go to, so your time was spent with family. And it was a great time because families used to go out on picnics and all that sort of thing, and it just made you stop and reflect for a while, because it was also a quiet time. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you here, that there won't be any trains running today in this segment, and there won't be any special how-tos or anything like that. I just wanted to sort of talk about the model railroad hobby, actually. When we're talking about reflection, if you consider the hobby as a whole, if you could view it, if you could put the whole thing into a fish tank and imagine yourself looking down on the whole hobby, you could see all the people in the fish tank that are involved in the hobby. But you wouldn't see the little details, you wouldn't see the little decoders, you wouldn't see the rail joiners, you wouldn't see the detail in the little buildings and the work that's gone into the paint jobs. You wouldn't see the creativity that's gone into some of the stations and buildings and so on like that. You wouldn't see all that sort of thing because you've got this overall view. And what you would see is probably the little people moving about in the fish tank and talking to each other. And what they're doing, those people in this hobby, for some reason, is they're sharing their knowledge. This hobby has old people, it has middle-aged people, it has young people, it has children, it has ladies involved in some cases. And it's a worldwide fraternity, even though there are some ladies involved, so maybe we shouldn't say fraternity, but there are ladies involved in this hobby as well. And I think the unique thing about it is the fact that there's no status in this hobby. You know, you can have the bank manager talking to the young lad who's 10 years old and talks to him on an equal footing, sharing his knowledge, and the young lad is treated equally. Anyone, regardless of their knowledge, is treated equally within this hobby, and it seems to be rather unique in the world when you think of all the bad things that are going on in the world. Yet people in the model railroad hobby, to my knowledge, are all very nice people and give freely of their information and their knowledge and all that sort of thing. So it would be nice if the world had more railway modelers, I think. I'm sure there are other hobbies where the same sort of thing exists, and I think possibly it's one of those things where we choose this hobby because it allows you to be creative. If you're an artistic sort of person, it certainly allows you to be creative. There are some people that enjoy the woodwork side of it. There are some people who enjoy building models. There's people who enjoy the electrical side of it. There's all sorts of facets to this hobby. And I think that's why it's so popular, because it's one of these hobbies that suits a lot of interests that people have. So I'm glad to be a part of it, and I'm glad to be on this YouTube channel. I'm also glad to be part of Platform 1, a relatively new railway forum that has only been going since just before Christmas 2015 and going very well. So yeah, I just thought I'd share those things with you, and as I said, it's a time for reflection, I think. So all I can suggest to you folks is you have a lovely Easter, but why don't you turn off the news on the telly and forget all about the bad news that's coming through. Think about your family, your friends and your model railway, and have a happy and safe Easter. Cheers. Gormo.